dead and spank you for 3 days to come forth. Here's what we find. Verse 19, for in him the fullness of God was pleased to dwell, and through him to reconcile to himself all things, whether on earth or in heaven, making peace by the blood of his cross. So he's preeminent. He's all-powerful. He's over everything. And we find that he's going to make peace by his blood, which is shed on the cross. Now, there are some who would say, wait a second, Chad, that's a little messy. We're talking about killing Jesus. You talk about killing a chicken, now you're killing Jesus. That sounds bloody. The gospel's bloody. That sounds gory. The gospel is gory. Ultimately, what we find as we read through the Bible is Jesus saying to us, I will make peace. Meaning, I will bring you to right relationship with God. And the way in which that happens is by my death on the cross. I had a conversation with a friend today from the book of Corinthians about how Jesus became sin. That does not mean that Jesus sinned, but it means that on the cross, Jesus takes the sins of each and every one of us. And in his crucifixion, those sins are put to death, meaning that on the cross, every sinful act, every sinful thought, every sinful emotion, every wicked idea that will ever pop in my head is put to death on the cross. Amen. And that I died that day. And that you died that day. If you have a relationship with Jesus that was put to death. 21. And you, who once were alienated and hostile in mind, doing evil deeds. And many of us would say, wait a second, what do you mean? I'm an alien. What do you mean? I'm a hostile. I'm not an alien. I've never been chased by Arnold Schwarzenegger in one of those movies with the large guns. I'm not hostile. I've never been a European hotel room. I'm none of those things. I'm a good person. And I would say, no, you're not. No, Chad, I'm a good person. See, I'm at summer camp. And I'm here, and I sing songs, and I talk about Jesus in my Bible study, and I've played the butcher paper games, and I've done all of the recreation stuff. I'm a good person. And no, you're not. No, Chad, I'm a really good person. You don't understand. Like, I've never pushed an old lady in the street. I'm a really good person. Chad, I've never stomped on a puppy's paw. I'm a good person. Chad, you don't understand. I've never reached into a goldfish bowl, pulled the fish out, and said, breathe, sucker. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. So we'll do it like this. I've got a 4th grader up here with me. We'll name him Billy, and we'll figure out how tall he is. Here, 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 here. It's a scary 4th grader. Here, we'll go Billy. He may be a little short. 4th grade hobbit. Hairy feet, everything. Billy's good. He's a good athlete. He can dribble a basketball. He can hit a baseball. He can kick a soccer ball. Billy is good. He's also very good in school. Billy makes really good grades. A's, B's. His mama has a bumper sticker on the back of her Hobbit car that says, my child is an honor student at Middle Earth Elementary School. Billy's also pretty smooth with the ladies, which is proven every Valentine's Day. Because Billy gets these cards from the girls, and they're always the cards that are talking about how sweet and cute he is, and not the friend cards. And you know if you've given out friend cards. I've received many. 4th grade Billy is good. Over here I've got a college sophomore. My friends from Red Bank have spent time. We know this story together. Over here I've got a college sophomore. He's also good. He's a good athlete because he's huge. And he is a good basketball player, good football player. He's good. And he is also a very good student. His mother receives letters in the mail that she magnetizes to the refrigerator because he's a good student. And he's also very smooth with the ladies, which is proven by his very tall Amazon girlfriend who stands beside him. They go to camp, youth camp, as chaperones. 4th grade Billy also goes to camp, sneaking in as a 4th grader, acting like he's in the 8th grade. You know you've done it. When little 4th grade Billy, who thinks he's really good, looks over here, he decides that he likes the girlfriend. And he wants to write her a Valentine's Day card in the middle of July, which proves that he's not so smart. But he walks up to here and he says, roses are red, violets are blue. Why don't you get away from that guy so you can be my centriboo? College sophomore challenges 4th grade Billy to a UFC style cage match to the death. Because Billy has infiltrated into his domain. I don't have to paint a picture for you of what will happen in this octagon. You're not thinking, will 4th grade Billy make it? Will Gandalf show up to help him? None of those things are popping through your mind. What you're knowing is that the college sophomore will step in and he will begin to deliver knees to Billy's head just by doing this over and over and over. And he will defeat Billy very quickly. Because Billy's goodness, as good as he is for a 4th grader, as fantastic as he is for a 4th grader, as much as he can compare himself to every other 4th grader in the world and say he's good, in light of who this person is, he is not good. Many of us come to camp and our comparisons are with each other. We look on the row behind us and we say, I'm better than her. I don't make the mistakes that she does. I've not done the dumb things that he does. I'm good. If you cannot find someone in this room who you're better than in some area, you need to be locked away somewhere. Let me know. But when we begin to compare ourselves to the nature and character of God in Jesus, who's the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation, your goodness ceases to matter. Because your goodness does not measure up. That's why you need to be reconciled. That's why we need to be made right. And that's why the mercy of God extended to us in Jesus makes us right. Here's what we find. He's reconciled us in his body of flesh by his death in order to present you holy, which means set apart, and blameless, and above reproach before him. Meaning this, that when God looks at you ultimately because of your sin, if all that he sees is your sin, you deserve wrath. You deserve to be separate from God. I deserve to be separate from God. Because my goodness doesn't measure up. It's very much like this. There are some things in my life that creep me out. Clowns, porcelain unicorns, naked baby pictures. Spiders. Spiders are weird to me. A few weeks ago, I was at a camp. I saw a spider crawling across the floor. I did what a large man does when he sees a spider. I crushed it. However, because it deserves my wrath, because it was in my business and it was going to take my life, I was sure. Imagine, however, this spider that deserved my wrath. What if I had not shown it wrath? What if I had shown it mercy? What if I'd taken the spider in my hand, very carefully, I might add, and rather than me crushing the spider, I began to nurture the spider. I dressed the spider up in clothes very much like my own. I bought the spider a hat. I began to feed the spider from my dinner table. I fully cared for the spider. Scripture never says that God views us as a spider. But there is a passage where Job says to God, God, I am but a worm before you. And God says, get up, you worm. The work of God in Jesus on your behalf is this: though you deserve to be separate from God, his great mercy has been extended to you so that you can sit at his table, so that he can dress you in his Son, so that he can grow you to walk with him. Because he's placed you who deserve reproach above reproach. Verse 23. If indeed you continue in the faith, stable and steadfast, not shifting from the hope of the gospel that you heard, which has been